Things are really happening out there with Bitcoin and everything else in the markets here. Let's do the weekend review. I'm Mark the Meerkat I'm in for D7 as he is out of town this weekend. And let's take a look here with the broad markets. First of all, what's happened this week. Then let's take a look at Bitcoin. Things are happening as I speak. Then we got the Fed announcement coming up this week, and then let's take a look here at a thing called sector rotation. So lots to cover this week. Let's take a look here first at what happened here on the markets this on Friday. S&P up 0.5%, the Dow up 0.5%, the Q's up 0.4%, and we got the small cap Russell up 0.09, just barely up for the day. And bank pulled back, so we had a little divergence in the market there. Bank pulling back about 0.4%. Dow VIX, however, it was down 5%. At closing below 10 again. We'll take a look at the chart on that one. Fear is out of the markets. And then we've got the U.S. Oil here. It continued its ride up. It just a little bit there on Friday. But gold and silver, after silver's really big drop, it just bounced up a little bit, and gold's pretty much stayed down. And then good old Bitcoin here, man, it ran up. I'm going to take a look at the chart, but just as I was preparing to do this video here at 1 o'clock here on Saturday, hit is Eastern time, it dropped below 13, and now it's back up in the 14 range. So let's take a look here, first of all, at the S&P 500 chart, the daily chart, and then we'll take a look here at the weeklies as well. Daily chart here on S&P on Friday, boom, beautiful. This is a picture perfect bull pullback. So we are very bullish on the market. So we are still in our bullish trend. We've called it long from all the way back here. We are still in a bullish trend. We should be looking to go long. So we'd have a new all-time high close here on the daily. So we'll move that up. Then we've got the Dow Jones Industrial here with the DIA, and it too bull pullback. It just broke out a new all-time high close. It was higher here on Monday, but it pulled back. But the actual close there is at the top of the green candle. That's the new all-time high close for the Dow. Then we've got the QQQ here, and it is pulled back, and it's starting to a bull pullback, but it is not back up to its all-time highs. It did go higher on Friday, but it did pull back off of its highs. So the tech has a nice pullback here over the last 2 weeks. Part of this sector rotation I want to talk about a little bit later. Then we've got bank here, small cap Russells here, they're pulled back even more. Again, its all-time highs have not been broken here in about 2 weeks here. It was right here was its all-time high close, pulling back, just bouncing off of support, starting to roll back up. So is this just a pullback, or is it actually a correction in the tech stocks and small caps? We'll see if people are starting to rotate into other things. So then we've got here the bank. And the bank too, we can't go anywhere without bank. It pulled back here. It tried to go back up, and then on Friday, bam, it ended up closing lower on Friday. Let's take a look here at U.S. oil, and we have a sell on that now. It did bounce back up, and then just dragging there. Could be a bear pullback here after this. Look at this huge run up. We called it long here, and it ran all the way up. Now we're starting to say that we're probably at the end of that run. Let's wait and see. Take a look here at gold. Des made a call on that on Wednesday to go down, and bam, bam, it has continued to go down. And then silver, this is a big one here. We called that one to go short back here. Bam, 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 bam. Little tiny dead cat bounce down here. But I want you to notice, look at the volume here. As this is dropping, look at the increased volume here, much above the average volume. So people are getting out of that or getting short. Now, okay, let's take a look here. Everybody's talking about the Bitcoin, right? And Des here was on Wednesday, it was at 13,000, and then it ran all the way up here according to this BTC DS or SD. It went up to 15,650, and then bam, bitty, bam, bam, bam. While I was preparing here, it dropped below 1,300 all the way down to 12,700, and then just since I started making this recording, it's bounced back up here around the 1,400. But man, this is Saturday trading. This is live. It's moving on my chart. Again, it's about 1:20 here Eastern time on Saturday. So it is active. Yes, it does trade 24 hours a day. So that's the Bitcoin. Again, my take on Bitcoin is, do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. Yes, the futures will start trading on that on the Chicago Board of Options Exchange on Sunday, and then on the 18th of December, the CME will have futures on it, so that will allow some other things around that. It does legitimize it a little bit more, but do your homework, do your homework. Do not put more, I'm sorry, I'm not going to put more than 5% of any of my money into anything this speculative. That's the max, and I will put for speculative things, just to again take care of my account in a very conservative way. And those are some of the recommendations of many people. No, this is not Texas Hold'em. Do not put all in on that one. That's my warning, just so that you don't get your account, blown up in a few days if it doesn't go your way, and completely wipe you out before it can have a chance to recover and go higher. So that's how you do it the smart way. That's how you trade, not gamble with your money. All right, let's go to the weekly charts here on the S&P 500. Here's the S&P weekly, and it was higher for the week. Yeah, it had an all-time high close Friday, so of course it's higher off of its highs for the week, but had a big dip in the week as well. So we are again in a nice bullish trend there. We're continuing higher. How about the Dow? It too closed higher for the week, and so all-time highs. Here's where it closed. That's the close for the weekly candle. Again, nice run up here. Now we've had a bit of a pullback here in the Qs. It has not been a new high. It's pulling back down off of its highs just slightly on the weeklies. It has not reached it there 2 weeks in a row now. And then we've got the small cap Russell here. It did a pullback earlier and then ran up. But look at this, almost a bearish engulfing candle here. Possible reversal candle on the weeklies. Again, this is the all-time high close, much higher when the week started, and then pulled back off the lows of the week, but still closed lower for the week. Let's take a look here at the VIX. That's right. This is the weekly chart on the VIX, and last Friday, a week ago, the ABC News report that which ended up being not as accurate as it needed to be. That caused the market just to shoot right up, and the market to lose over 400 points on the Dow, and then came back. Well, now look at, we're back down here to 9.58, below 10 again. This is extremely low. In fact, 3 weeks ago, we hit the all-time low that this is, and it has ever been at 8.56 since it was created over 24 years ago. That's the lowest point it has ever hit. So folks, we are very, very complacent here. There is no fear that the market's going to make a sudden drop. It's at record lows here. So just be aware that that's in that case. All right, let's take a look here now at what's going on with the Fed on Wednesday. They're having their meeting Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they will make their announcement on whether they want to increase interest rates or not on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. There's about over a 90% chance that they will increase the rates this year. Again, if you go back 2 years, they said they were going to raise them 4 times. They end up only raising them once. This year, they said they're going to raise them 4 times, and they end up raising them, I think this is the second time, right? Next year, they say they're going to raise them 4 times. We'll have to wait and see. But the odds are that they will increase them here in December. So just be aware of that in your positions. That, again, it can cause effect on the markets. Let's talk about sector rotation. Go to finviz.com and you go to their tab called Groups. Here we have these sectors by 1 day performance, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Let's start with a year. So over the last year, technology has hit it out of the park. That sector and healthcare, consumer goods, industrials, and financials, they are just hitting it out of the park this year. Now, in a bullish market area where you have technology and you have banks and financials moving at near the top of that rotation, that's very much high growth. But then people will move away from the high tech and all that as we start to move into different parts of the sector rotation. And if you look here after 6 months, technology and financials are number 1 up there. That's a high growth of combination right there. But then look here now, the last 3 months, financials is still up there, but look at what has happened to tech. It's dropped down here to number 4. And where I'm concerned here is over the last month, where's tech? Tech is way down here. It's actually negative over the last month. And that's a little bit, just be careful about that. We've had a terrific run in tech. Now people might be rotating out of that, harvesting profits and investing them to those things that they think may benefit more from a tax package if it is passed here by the U.S. Congress. So then we've got 1 week performance here. Technology again, way down here, but the financials are still strong. My point is that, again, we've had this terrific run in tech. I've had a lot of tech runs this year for myself, and now I'm starting to take profits in those in my longer term trading, and starting to look at a possible sector rotation where I'm need to shift some of my money moving forward here as we come into the new year. Well, this is Mark the Meerkat in for D7. I hope you'll have a great trading week, and of course we are in the holiday season. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and, of course, the most prosperous of New Year's. Trade well.